Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the season finale of the Lucas Oil Cup Series. I'm your host, Bulldog Speed, aka Sack Rogers. First, I want to apologize for those that watched the Sonoma race. The point standings I was referencing were the ones after Sonoma had ended, meaning the point standings I'm using for today's race, I was using for Sonoma's race, which was wrong. That was my mistake. So, anything you heard me say about points from Sonoma was terribly wrong, and I'm terribly sorry that I made the mistake, but it's already recorded and it's already been formatted, so it is what it is, and I'm cool with the mistake. So I just want you guys to know that I'm sorry that that mistake happened. So anyway, the 16 so you can gain 94 points max because this is a double points race. Now, with that said, since the points leader has 12 points over second place, if the points leader finishes last, the person who is 93 behind him could indeed pass him and the other 14 cars in between if they all also finish at the bottom. So now, without further ado, let's go through the 16 drivers that will be fighting for the championship. Your points leader, Cole Baker, 12 points back is John Gilbert, 13 back. Julius Anderson off the win last week. That was actually his first win, not his second one. Like I said, sorry for the mistake, guys. Deanna Jones, fourth in points, 25 or 18 back. 25 back is Philip Parker. 28 back is John Connor. Quentin Moore's 33 back. Sam Oskins 34 back. Also 34 back is TJ Hanley. And also in the mix, since the window bar is in the way and I can't read the points, Andrew Rich, Darren Blake, Dylan Young, Matt Haas, Joshua Sekuli, Kev Shearer, and Charles Jackson. Those are the 16 drivers in the running for this championship. And that's what's going on. So let's get to your starting lineup here. William Brock is on the pole. Next to him is Philip Parker. In row 2, Alexander Rowe and John Connor. Excuse me, row 3, Johnny Gardner and Charles Jackson. This is the man right here. He needs to win and have Cole Baker finished in last. Kev Shearer, Scarlett Rich in row 4, Quentin Moore and Cole Deaver in row 5. Let's go through the rest of the field here. Julius Anderson on the outside in row 6. Row 8, Darren Blake, Jonathan Zorlin. Row 9, row 10, row 11, row 12, 13 has Young and Rich. Row 14, 15 has Deanna Jones. Row 16 has Matt Haas and TJ Hanley. Row 17, row 18 has Cole Baker and Samet Oskin. Row 19 has John Gilbert, and then there's row 20. So Baker starts in 36, so that's a good sign for Charles Jackson, who starts in 6th. Now this track does have three unique grooves that we're going to see play out here today. We're on 4x pit frequency. Let's see what's going to happen here. We'll talk about that in a minute. Let's go trackside for Command the Fire Engines.
Drivers, start your engines!
Drivers will pull off of pit road. 81 laps here at Homestead. This will also be the track for the Mountain Dew For the Win Cup Series finale. Possibly, unless he made the person who made this track releases an aged version with like aged less grass, aged pavement. I don't know. It just depends. You know, that's about while I'm recording this, that's about like another 6 months down the line for me recording wise. So I'm not too worried about it. This track was made for 2003, but you know, we're in a fictional universe and stuff. This is just me droning on and on. So anyway, 4x pit frequency, so we should see drivers pit, I want to guess, every, I'm going to go with a broad guess, 15 to 20 laps, I would think. I know 2X is usually 32 to 35 here, I think. So I think 16 to 20, 15 to 20, that's what we should expect here. But anyway, we're getting ready to go green flag racing. Will it go caution free? Will we have cautions, accidents? What's going to happen? We'll discuss the end of the series. We'll discuss who the season champion is as we're green. And I cannot talk. And no, I am not drinking Monster. I am drinking water. As William Brock will pull out, clearing Philip Parker for the race lead. There are drivers in here who are trying to go for the championship. Remember, double points. Lead a lap, 2 points. Lead the most lap. That's another 2 points you want. And when you have someone such as William Brock in the race lead, that is going to be hard to make happen because William Brock is not in contention for the title. I'm going to plug my mouse in because I do not want to use this touchpad. It's awful. So William Brock continues to lead on lap 2 here. Alexander Rowe attempting to challenge. Johnny Gardner moves into third. Parker still sitting in fourth. Charles Jackson has made his way to the inside line. Going for fourth place on Philip Parker. So I've not done a full-on test of this racetrack yet, so I do not know how and if they will wreck. I know when we used the version I had been using that really had never any cautions on that racetrack, so Homestead can usually be a pretty clean race. As we said, the immediate drivers in points range of Cole Baker included John Gilbert, Julius Anderson, Deanna Jones, Philip Parker, John Connor, Quentin Moore, Sam Austin, TJ Hanley, and Andrew Rich. Now, the highest of those would be Philip Parker right now. And Quentin Moore, Julius Anderson, John Connor are all up here at the end of the top 10. Battle for the race lead between Alexander Rowe and William Brock. Rowe leads the lap by a hair. We're already seeing the tire wear come into play. Will the low line be more important when the tires are scorched, or will it be the high line? So far, just 2x2x2. And Rowe will clear the 39 car for the race lead. Rowe comes into this race 27th in the points. Let's go towards the back of the field as, oh wait a minute, Julius Anderson is going to make a 3-wide move on Quentin Moore and Charles Jackson. Let's see how this works out. Cars have already been slowing down to 150 miles an hour. Anderson will clear Moore and Jackson. He's just going to put himself right in front of the 89 here. That'll move him up to 6th place, right behind Philip Parker, as William Brock now starts to begin a fallback on the field. Here is Cole Baker side by side in the middle between Jake Rogers and Andrew Rich. You see John Gilbert all the way back here, Sam Austin himself. Drivers, you know, they're trying to run for a title. Running at the back on lap 7 is not a good way to go because you do not want to go into pit road behind a ton of cars. You have to slow down a lot more. You lose a lot more time. Being at the front early on, if this thing goes green, that'll be the key to winning this championship. Baker would have a much bigger lead and a bit more of a cushion if he hadn't missed the race at Bristol 2 races ago. And it really brought back a ton of people into the shake of things. Baker is trying to make his way to the bottom Let's go up to the 31 car of Matt Haas. Let's ride a lap on board with the 31. That is a lap around Homestead. That was a 34-second lap time. Go back up to the race leader of Alexander Rowe, 33.976. Already a second off pace. Gardner sits in second, Parker third, Moore fourth, as now Anderson is starting to get eaten up by the draft. Now I do not know for sure if these guys will peel off coming out of 4, if it'll be going into turn 3. We just finished lap 10. As you can see, we are live recording this race. So that means I will have to look at the points and do the point standings before confirming who the champion is. Otherwise, I will have to do math. Might just come back in the opponent manager after this race is over and be like, okay, this is the point standings. And do a top 5 rundown of the point standings. Because it's 50 for first, 47 for second, 45 for third, 42 for fourth, 40 for fifth, and then you go down a point. I could do it by hand. I should just get my board here ready. My little notepad. I need to get rid of some of this stuff. Let's see here. Get rid of those pieces of paper. Down to 140 miles an hour, about to hit 2 seconds off pace. Cycle that later. As Rowe is continuing to pull away, now Quentin Moore on the charge for second place. That is ready to go when the time comes. Eli Bright will pull up in front of Johnny Gardner. Now John Connor, you can see, and here we go. Pit stops, and they do have to go in by the turn 3 access road. On lap 14, we'll see the first pit stops. Alexander Rowe will lead them down. Quentin Moore, Philip Parker, William Brock, Darren Blake are the first 5 to go in. Andrew Rich will be coming in this time. I gave the lead to Eli Bright, so we are looking at roughly 5 pit stops for this race. Bright will be the next one to lead a group down. John Connor will stay out. Now, if you're Cole Baker, are you staying out or are you coming in? Johnny Gardner, Scarlett Rich. I see Sam at Oskin staying out, but it looks like Cole Baker has elected to come into pit road. Anderson's up here second in line. 42 actually came down the first time by. Okay, my mistake there. Let's go up to John Connor here now. Almost, yep, clearly 2 seconds plus off the pace. These guys are going to have the best tires on the racetrack. And here we go. Here comes Connor leading in Gardner, Scarlett Rich, Zach Rogers, and Sam and Oskin. So Oskin and Connor are going for the long run strategy. See if it works out for them. They've got a pretty much empty pit road. That's going to help them out a lot. We'll be right back once the field has cycled out here at Homestead. We're back at Homestead. Quentin Moore has cycled back out to be the race leader he will come by the start-finish line this time and take the race lead. I want to note that I already screwed up again. It's tough because of all the lines on the score for screenshot. So I took a second, I paused the action, and I went and I wrote everything down so that it's a lot easier for me. I should have done that initially. We actually have 17 drivers in the running. I misread the lines on the points. The driver who is 93 back is William Brock. William Brock, as we know, got the pole and led some laps, so that's good for him. Also leading laps was John Connor, and now Quentin Moore has led some laps. I will not know who led the most until the end because I'm not doing a tally. But just to give everyone the heads up, this is how they looked coming in. Cole Baker, the leader, 12 out, John Gilbert, 13 out, Anderson, 18 out, Jones, 25 out, Parker, 28 out, Connor, 33 out was Moore. Oskin and Hanley both 34. Rich and Blake both 38. Dylan Young 50. Matt Haas 53. Sakuli 73. How iconic, he drives 73. Kev Shearer 78. Jackson 78. And William Brock 93. So those are the 17 guys in the running. Right now, Quentin Moore is leading the race. Now we know that Rowe and Brock somewhat split the first half of laps. So as Quentin Moore leads this race in front of Rowe, here's Philip Parker in third. Sorlin, Bright, Blake. Now, looks like Sorlin is the top car out of the people who pit in the second group. Now, if we find John Connor, he is in 7th place. So it looks like pitting later is the better call. You don't seem to lose too much time. As Jonathan Sorlin is making a move on Philip Parker for 3rd place. Now, if we don't get a caution, that will make things really interesting now. Everyone is still on the racetrack now. Cole Baker managed to get up to... Oh, he's in 25th now, but he was probably a little further up before. Now, he pit in the first group, which apparently was a bad idea since he was at the back of the field. But he did gain some positions, so it's helping him a little bit right now. But there you see Kev Shearer making a move for that position. Now William Brock is running just in 10th, right behind TJ Hanley. Brock, I believe, was a driver who came down in the second group. Otherwise, I don't think he'd be making a move for position. So that's for 9th place. Zach Bilson here is trying to get by Darren Blake. That is for 7th. And there's Parker. Now John Connor's going to make a 3-wide move for 3rd. Does he get to be 3 wide though? No, he's going to jump back behind Eli Brightest to get by Rowe. Sorlin now closing in on the back of Quentin Moore. Sorlin not in the running for the title. So he's trying to steal what would be 10 points? No, 8 points. If you lead the most laps and win, it's 104 points. If you get second, that's 94. If you lead laps, it's 96. Actually, no, that would be 98 because it's bonus, then times 2. So if you get 47, or no. No, never mind. I'm being stupid. It's doubled points, and then you add the bonus points, which are also doubled. So it would be 50 if you win, you'd get 100. If you led a lap, you'd get 2 points, because that's doubled. And then that would be 102, and if you led the most, you get 104. I'm sorry for confusing everyone, because I just confused myself. It's been a while since I paid attention to a double points race, but Sorlin is in the lead for now, but Connor is right here. As you can see, we're only on lap 25, so we're only, when we're 3 to 5 laps away from a pit stop and you're already about to take the lead, it's clear that the drivers who have decided to pit in the last group are the fastest cars and the best cars at the shot at winning this race. As Connor will look for the lead back here. He inherited it originally, staying out. Looks like Zach Bilson was another driver who pit with him. He's making a charge for 4th place here. Scarlett Rich, we know, pit. Here she is getting by Rowe. That's for 7th place for the 6 car. There's Johnny Gardner. Samet Oskin, we know, made that strategy call. He is up to 20th. Now, Oskin is behind John Connor in points by 6 points, so he's got a lot of work to do if he's going to catch up. So you see Darren Blake holding up Julius Anderson and others. Scarlett Rich going by Philip Parker now for 6th. So Parker, it looks like Moore, Parker, and Rowe are the fastest 3 out of those who pit the first time by. Second time, it looks to be Sorlin and Bright. Bilson is right here. Now, Sorlin is keeping up because of the draft, I believe, but I don't know for how much longer his tires will be able to hold out in the corner. Rich makes the move by Moore for 5th place. And it's good for John Connor for him to know that, hey, the 2 drivers behind me who are most likely going to get a top 5 position at the end of the race, I don't have to worry about them for this championship. They can be there behind me. They are saving me troubles of other contenders getting points. And someone just dove down pit road. Who was that? Was that the 89 car? It was. Quentin Moore's coming in. See William Brock there, Dylan Young. This is where we could get 4 groups now instead of 3, because I do not see Alexander Rowe or Philip Parker. I do see Andrew Rich. Connor in the lead. He's going to stay out another lap. Philip Parker now coming down pit road. Charles Jackson there, Darren Blake, TJ Hanley, they're all coming in together. So here's Group 2 on lap 30. There's Cole Baker, Joshua Sekuli, John Gilbert all coming in group number 2. Sorlin has elected to stay out a little bit longer. There goes Bilson, Sorlin, Rich, Bright all coming in group number 3. So the leader, John Connor, is going to stay out another lap. Oskin, Anderson, Rowe, they're all staying out too. So interesting decision making here. Looks like some drivers noticed, hey, if we go longer now, we'll be set up on the right tire run at the end of the race. Almost looks like the 56 is going to run out of gas though. Here comes Connor. They're all coming in. Yeah, Rowe ran out of gas. I think he was trying to come by last time by. This is going to hold up the people behind them, which includes Kev Shearer. There's Matt Haas. He's coming in. And there's Quentin Moore. You can see he's just gone. So we will let this cycle out, and we will be back when it has been cycled around. Back here at Homestead, Quentin Moore back in the race lead. After the groups expanded from 3 to 4. Behind him now is the 93 of Zach Bilson, who is closing. In second place, third place, Dylan Young, fourth, Sorlin, fifth, Brock. Moving for sixth is Scarlett Rich, seventh, Philip Parker. About to go down to eighth because here is John Connor. Already making the charge through with these fresh tires. TJ Hanley, ninth, Cole Deaver, 10th, about to lose that position to Eli Bright. And there's Gardner. We know he was the second one out of pit road behind John Connor. Samet Oskin up to 19th, actually going by Ace Rogers for 18th. And there's Cole Baker in 20th, still pitting early as possible for this 42 team. You know, they're trying to gain as many positions as they can. Matt Haas, we know, pit in the last group with Keith Rich, but they are way in the back. Now, Alexander Rowe was running in the top 10. He stayed out a lap 2 longer than he wanted to. He was running out of fuel coming in. And now he has a lot of work to do. As we go back to the battle for the lead, Zach Bilson has already caught Quentin Moore. John Connor already back into the top 5. Excuse me, here's the move for the lead. Put the 93 of Zach Bilson to the top spot. As you look in the back of your picture, John Connor making a move on Jonathan Zorlin. That is for 3rd place. Scarlett Rich in 5th, no longer on the same strategy as the 27. As where is the 77 of Johnny Gardner? There he is in 14th place. Right behind the 17 of Darren Blake. Now Gardner is not in the championship hunt, but he would love to go for win, though he is pretty far behind John Connor. It's hard to make up 4 seconds on someone when you're on the same pit strategy as them. We're already 5 more laps away from the next round of pit stops. I mean, this just thing keeps you on your toes. Now, the big thing to note is that if they do have to go on a 5-stop strategy, they are pitting at lap 75 with 6 to go. Now, in that case, I would say championship win to Quentin Moore. He is 5 points behind John Connor, with the 3-point difference from 1st to 2nd. Even if Connor got 2nd place, doubling the points up, he'd be 6 short. Now he has led a lap, so has Quentin Moore. The question is if Moore leads the most laps or not to get that point bonus. Either way, it would be a 6-point margin. Now if Connor finished 3rd and Moore finishes 2nd, then then Moore would need that most laps led bonus in order to win the championship, because at that point it's 4 points doubled. He's 1 short because they both led laps. You give him that bonus, 6-point difference, Moore wins the championship. Granted, however, that they both managed to gain the points needed on Cole Baker, who sits right now in 25th place. And looking at the gap, the worst he could get would be 26th, which would give him points as if he finished 13th. I believe, if my math is right. Nope, I think it's wrong. Let's see, 5 points goes to 40th. 30th gets 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 points is 38. So, actually that would be like finishing 8th. So 38 points if he gets 26th. That would be for Cole Baker we're talking about. Now, obviously, it's 28 points for Connor and 33 for Moore. So as long as they finish in the top 5, they've got that gap covered. John Gilbert, we know, is in the way back. He ain't getting nothing. Julius Anderson has been in and out of the top 10. See, last time by he was 17th. I think they would have enough to catch him because he is only 15 ahead of Connor. Deanna Jones and Philip Parker are the next two in question. Now, Philip Parker was running around the front. However, where did he go? I see Jones in 22nd. Where's Philip Parker? Oh, he's in the top 10. Parker's in 9th. Connor and Moore would have enough as long as they get a top 5, and he does not get a top 5. And here we go. Next group of people are coming down pit road. Was that Quentin Moore leading them in? Oh, Moore has actually already come down pit road. That was somebody else coming in. Looks like Marty Johnson had come in already. Jordan Grant, Cole Deaver, and William Brock are already down pit road. That next group was Hanley, Young. I think that's Ace Rogers, Seth Cole, Adam Samsel. I see Rich. I see Fitzwater. So that's group 2 on lap 45. Like I said, if you go in 15 lap increments, as Sorlin will lead the next group. Here comes group number 3. If you keep going in 15 lap increments, right now if these guys pit every 15 laps, they are 5 short of the finish. Now, could you make it if you are 3 or 2 short of the finish is the question, because we know Rose got held up a lap or so. There's Cole Baker. Cole Baker's coming in group 3. Sakuli, Gilbert. So they're drivers that are trying to go on the long run if they can. Here comes group 4. So now we're up from 4 groups to 5 groups as Bilston comes in leading Rich and Bright. Gardner stays out with Connor. And he's actually right there, and there's Tristan Allen. Julius Anderson's on this group. And to his right is Samet Oskin. And the question is, did Anderson want to pit, but he couldn't? Because Tony Green is right there. He was to his inside. And here comes Connor on lap 48. So if he pits on lap 63, he could, 63 or 64, I think Connor could make it on one more stop. And Samet Oskin is actually going to stay out another lap. And this will give him a lead lap bonus. Now this could make things interesting because now the 48 is saying, I could make it on one stop too. So did this just become a race between Moore and Connor, and now is Samet Oskin throwing his hat on the table? He's coming down pit road this time by himself. There is Quentin Moore in the lead. Somebody else stayed out too. Who was that? That was Alexander Rowe, who got held up the last time. So we'll come back once these drivers are cycled yet again. It's getting interesting here, around 30 to go. We're back here at Homestead, hitting 31 to go on the race. Moore back in the lead, but here comes TJ Hanley, who is behind Moore by 1 point in the point standings. Now, if he could get by Quentin Moore before Jonathan Zorlin gets to him, he could lead a lap here. Look at that. Moore is already 7/10 off. And I know that's a lot of draft attributed, but when you go from being in the first group to someone like Oskin, who's in the 5th group, that makes things really interesting. And here comes Hanley on the inside. But Sorlin is going to make it 3 wide, I think, here. Oh, no, he didn't do it. He decided not to do it. You can see Hanley just has so much grip. Now, Connor fell down to 8th like he did last time. And now there's actually a bit of a gap between 7th and 6th. Now, if you don't have enough draft, I'm wondering how much of an impact that will be for this 27 car. However, if he can make it on fuel, it really doesn't matter. One more pit stop could be all he needs. Same can be said about Samet Oskin. However, the 45 car came out a lot worse than he thought. However, due to his fresh rubber, he has already blazed his way back up to 26th. You can see he's a second faster than Marty Johnson. Cole Baker has moved his way up to 16th. He pit in the third group instead of the second group, and it's helping him out. He's trying to hold on to that points lead. Remember, he started 36th. He's gained 20 spots since then. So Baker is trying to hold on to his title here. John Gilbert in the 06 entered second in the point standings. He is still running abysmal. Julius Anderson is in the third group with Connor. Here he is. He's going after Tony Green. Ooh, some contact there. This is for 20th with 38. Deanna Jones, where is she? She is in 22nd. 21st, actually? No, 22nd. Okay, so I did not notice if before, as Bilson is now going for the lead on Zorlin, I did not see if Hanley led a lap before he got passed. So I will have to check on the next break. Connor, here he comes. He's looking for 6th on William Brock. Now a lot of drivers started pitting on lap 47. We could see them pit in 6 laps from now already. So it will definitely depend if Connor can make it on one more stop or not. He's going to go by Moore here. That is for 5th. Remember, Moore is on the oldest tires along with William Brock. Bilson in the lead. Dylan Young is up to 3rd place. Look at the rest of the top 10. Brock is now going for 7th on Moore. Blake up to 9th. Gardner just passed Jackson for 10th. The rest of the guys battling it out here. Now Baker has fallen to 17th. Anderson now will get by him for that position. So Baker's strategy, pitting first now when you get the bigger gap, it seems to be somewhat working. Pitting too late, pitting too early seem to be the big things you got to try to put yourself in the middle. Oskin is up to 22nd, but he was a lot closer to John Connor before he decided to stay out one more lap. So Baker down to 18th. He pit the 3rd time by. I think that was a good strategy. He puts himself right in the middle. Zach Bilson still in the lead. Scarlett Rich is making a move on John Connor for 4th place. As you can see, he is up on that high line. Now, can he make the high line work, though? We haven't seen it been worked all day. Young is going to move up for the 6th, knowing full well that Connor is a title contender. And this is holding the 27 up. He's looking to the high line. Now he's going to cut back down. Rich got by him for position. TJ Hanley has fallen to 6th. There is Gardner now up to 7th. Connor knows he doesn't want that 77 to get too close to him because he could fight him for the win. Now Rich is looking for 2nd place on Sorlin. Bilson continues to lead the race. I'm starting to wonder who's led more laps, if it's been the 93 or the 89. And there goes TJ Hanley into pit road from 6th place before Quentin Moore. So if he didn't lead a lap before, he will definitely lead one now. Cole Baker is going down pit road as well. Actually, Marty Johnson and William Brock came down the lap before TJ Hanley. And not Cole Baker, Cole Deaver. Seth Cole's in. We're already on a 2nd group here. Connor is going for 2nd now as Sorlin will lead Dylan Young down. Quentin Moore is no longer pitting on the 1st group. He's pitting on the 3rd group. this changes everything, and I see Cole Baker right there in that 42 car. This is the third group pitting here on lap 61. I don't know if they're going to make it 20 laps, though. Back to John Connor, who's still right behind the 93. And there goes Bilson and Rich down the pit road. That puts Connor back out front. Good amount of cars staying out behind them. This is group number 4, keep in mind. See Philip Parker, Deanna Jones. There's Jake Rogers, Matt Haas. Now here's Connor. Is he going to pit this lap? No, he's staying out. I think he's going to try and one-stop this. Gardner staying out too. Here comes James Qualls, Darren Blake, Eli Bright, Bouchard, Sanford, Rogers, Azevedo. Rowe is still stayed out. There's Sorlin coming out of pit road. And now we have cars that are actually right in the mix with these guys who have stayed out forever. This makes things extremely interesting. Does Connor come down this time? Here he comes. 27's going to box this time on lap 64. It'll give him 17 laps, I think. And Anderson is going to stay out. This will give the 38 a lap lead. And remember, he is only 13 points behind Cole Baker. So now this is interesting. Now he keeps the 45 out of the lead, leads a lap himself. He's been in and out of the top 10. This might be an interesting call if he can make it on gas, just like he did at Sonoma. Remember, he won last week. Cole Baker was in a wreck. It let Anderson really creep up in the point standings. Oskin's going to come down here too. And TJ Hanley will end up being the leader just in front of William Brock. We'll be right back once the cycle actually, no, you know what? Never mind. We're going to stay here till the end. Because if Hanley leads a lap, I don't even have to check. Now he's up to 11th right now at the line. Remember, Brock right behind him. You can see Zach Bilson in the distance, getting by Jonathan Zorlin. There's Dylan Young. Now here comes John Connor out of pit road. Look who is right behind him though, Cole Baker. Connor will quickly rebound, but that is a car he did not want to see coming out of pit road. Baker's pit strategy has put him in the mix. And now Hanley's actually got a fight from William Brock. Brock, we believed, had come down the lap before. Brock's trying to steal a lap from Hanley. And he's going to do it. So William Brock leads a lap over Hanley. So now I really should have checked. But alas, it is what it is. We are here live. Hanley should have the better tires from what I thought. He came down a lap after Brock. Well, if he's going to get back by that 39 car, he better do it because here comes Zach Bilson. Dylan Young, Scarlett Rich, Sorlin here. There's Connor making his way through these drivers as Cole Baker is starting to fade. There's James Qualls. That is for 11th place. Hanley right on the bumper of William Brock. Alexander Rowe has lost everything he had at the beginning of the race. Looks like Matt Haas, Gilbert Shearer, they don't have a shot. And now Hanley put to the outside of Bilson. So if Hanley did lead a lap, I will have to notice it after this race concludes because we're in the final run now. Bilson will get by Hanley for second place. And now it becomes a fuel game. I think Anderson or Oskin have the best chance. Connor, if he can make it on an extra lap, I think he can do it. Bilson's going to go right by Hanley, and now he's going to go right by William Brock. Green flag racing the whole time. So Bilson back to the lead. Dylan Young in 5th place. However, Young is 50 points out. He needs a lot more help than he has received. Scarlet Rich is going to make a move 3 wide on the bottom. This would be for 2nd place. And she will easily get by Hanley and Brock. So put the 6 car up to 2nd. Connor in 7th place. Pulling away from the group behind him. Qualls will pass Quentin Moore for 8th. And it's getting wild back here. Cole Baker losing a lot of spots. It's down to 15th now as he's trying to gain a spot back on Cole Deaver. Now where is the 38 car? Here he is. He is in 22nd place. Oskinson 25th. That's the guy he wants to race. Now Oskin does have 21 less points than the 38, so even if Oskin is right there in the lead in front of him or behind him, he shouldn't worry too much. Cole Baker is falling like a rock, even though he pit 3rd out of 6 groups. Connor continuing to close the gap up. He's only down now to 3 seconds. I believe he's closing half a second a lap. Zach Bilson still in the lead in front of Scarlet Rich. Dylan Young now making the move to 3rd on Hanley. And here comes William Brock into pit road. Or no, he's making a move. I'm sorry. I thought he was making the move to pit road. Ooh, Dylan Young gets right on the bumper of TJ Hanley, and I think we almost had a caution right there. That was really close. John Connor sees his target. He's pulling up 2.92, 2.49, basically half a tenth right there. I mean half a second, not half a tenth. Stupid me. But Connor's got no fight behind him. No one's closing in except for really Johnny Gardner. That is a non-title hunt. Dylan Young still fighting for 3rd on Hanley. Let's let Rich and Bilson to pull away from them just a teensy bit. But now John Connor has caught this group. We're hitting 8 to go here at the line. So now we're going to start seeing if these drivers can truly make it. We're already a second and a half off a fast time. By the way, fastest lap award will go to Charles Sanford, I believe. I don't think anyone else is going to run a 32.7 today. Now William Brock is coming to pit road. On lap 74, they definitely could not make it. So now we're going to see if lap cars on fresh tires are going to be in the way. Now if this goes green, you can bet that 39 car should win this race. The next up pit would be the 86, based on what we saw last time. Bilson still leads. Connor is going to make the 86 go high. This is for 4th place. No signs of anyone coming in. Hanley's going to be stuck to stay out because he's next to someone. Seth Cole will be the next person to come down pit road from 16th. Cole Deaver will follow now. Here is Samet Oskin. He's right behind Julius Anderson. Cole Baker, though, continuing to stay out. 6 to go at the line. There's William Brock coming out of the pit road. Connor just got by Dylan Young for 3rd. We really have to watch everyone here. Bilson, Rich, they stay out. Here comes Dylan Young and TJ Hanley. Sorlin included. I don't see the 42 though. Nope, 42 Cole Baker still on the racetrack. Trying to make it last. Connor 1.3 seconds behind the top group. The person he doesn't want to see stay out though will be Julius Anderson. Because if Anderson can make it, it's all for nothing. Where is that 38 car? He's actually being held up. He's going to get passed by Oskin here, possibly. There go Bilson and Rich. They're coming down. That'll give the lead back to John Connor. Philip Parker coming in. Cole Baker. He can't do it. He's going to have to pit. I'm going to wait for them to clear all the people coming out of pit road. 4 to go that time at the line. We just really got to watch John Connor here. Next highest driver would be Darren Blake, but he is really back. We'll be coming to 3 to go. Connor stays out. James Qualls will pit. Eli Bright will pit. Jones will pit. There's Ace Vado coming into pit road. Here's William Brock right in front of TJ Hanley. But Dylan Young is right here. And I'm wondering if these guys are taking fuel only. John Connor in the lead. Can he make it work? He's going to stay out. We're coming to 2 to go. Tony Green is there now. Darren Blake will dive down the pit road. There's Anderson right behind Sam at Oskin. If they can get into the top 5, that will give them extra points. I'm sorry, top 4. Green on the bumper of Gardner. This is for 2nd place. 4th place right now is Tristan Allen. If Allen gets 4th over Oskin and Anderson, that's a lot of points those two will lose on John Connor. But Connor's got a pit coming to the white. They can't make it on fuel. That is going to cost him the title. Green and Gardner are going to stay out. They're going to battle this thing out for the win. And I think the championship, depending where Cole Baker finishes, will go to Julius Anderson. Because Oskin is 21 points back. I do not see him gaining that ground. Green side by side with Johnny Gardner on the final lap. Now if they pit coming to the checkered flag, that will blow my mind. Green's trying to hold on to Gardner. Coming into turn 3, do these guys stay out? They do. It should be Julius Anderson's championship, depending where the 42 finishes. Coming to the checkered flag though, Tony Green completes the pass. Tony Green will win the finale here at Homestead. And there is John Connor. He will stay on the lead lap and he should get 8th. But it's all for nothing because here is Julius Anderson finishing in 5th. Oskin will get 4th. 3rd to Tristan Allen. 2nd to Johnny Gardner. Keith Rich, Rowe, John Connor will get 8th. And here he comes. To the checkered flag, it'll be John Connor. Finishing 8th place. Now let's see where everyone else finished. Cole Baker finishes 28th. Whew. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. John Gilbert got 39th. So without further ado, doing the math, Julius Anderson is the highest contender. And Julius Anderson is your champion. He was 13 behind Cole Baker. He's going to get 80 points. Plus the 2 bonus points, that's 82 points. Cole Baker is nowhere close to that. 28th place, that's 17 normally, so that's 34. 34 to 82 definitely is not 13 or less. So, yep, Julius Anderson is your champion. I am pretty positive. I will go do the points and I will check. If I am right, you will not hear from me again. If I am wrong, you will. But I am pretty positive that Anderson getting 5th wins him the title. So congrats to Julius. That win at Sonoma was big for him. He gets 5th here. John Connor, what could have been maybe getting that win instead. Because the 2 people behind them were on the same strategies and he had to come down to pit road. Looking though, if he had gotten the win. And let's see, Anderson gets 6th. Anderson gets 39.78. That's 80 still. Connor would have gained 22 points on Julius. Yep, so if Connor had stayed out and won the race, he would have won the title. I would have personally, I would have stayed out and run it dry, but they came the pit road and they ended up 8th. But that is going to cost them a chance at the title. So congrats, Julius Anderson. And I will see you guys later. Continue enjoying the Mountain Dew for the Win Cup Series. This series, Lucas Oil will probably not come back. I just don't have the time to run 2 series anymore. And yeah, that's it. So I'll see you guys later. Enjoy the race. Peace out.